My name is Adrienne and I would like to talk to you about the automatic scoring and tasks. Land Rover meetings are an excellent opportunity for drivers to test their skills. The Rover-tracking system and application helps these events with automatic scoring. The organizers announce different tasks for the events. Previously, during the races, the pilots and navigators usually received the tasks of the race on worksheets and wrote down their positions and results on the track. The organizers had to process this afterwards. Rover-tracking provides a variety of useful tools for competitors, organizers, and spectators. There are 14 types of built-in tasks in Rover-tracking, where our unique scoring module automatically performs scoring based on the GPS position of the competitors, their marked waypoints, flag placements, and continuously calculates the current ranking of the competition. These are AST, automatically scored tasks. Competitors, judges, and spectators can see the current ranking in real time already during the races on the event's website. These are tasks that are not evaluated based on the GPS position and flag placement. This could be, for example, a skill-oriented track race, an assembly task, a parts identification task, a car beauty contest, etc. These are MST tasks, measured and scored tasks. For such tasks, the jury monitors the competition and records the results in the application. If this has been done, the Rover-tracking system is already capable of automatic scoring. For the competitor whose points have already been recorded by the jury, the result of the task is included in the result table and affects the current order of the competition. On a single competition day, competitors are often assigned several consecutive tasks. In this video, you can learn about tasks that are scored without timing. PDG, Pilot Declared Goal. AST, Automatically Scored Task. Competitors attempt to mark their own declared goal with a flag. This target is usually a characteristic landmark, a road crossing, bridge, etc. The declaration can be subject to conditions, minimum distance from a defined location, time relative to the event, etc. For this task, if the pilot successfully marks a flag within the distance defined in the rules, for example 5 to 10 meters, then the task is completed. The pilot gets the flag point for the task. JDG, Judge Declared Goal. AST, Automatically Scored Task. Competitors attempt to mark a flag next to the goal designated by the competition judge. For this task, if the pilot marks the flag within the distance specified in the rules, for example 5-10 meter, then the task is completed and the pilot gets the flag point for the task. This task is easy to understand for the audience and can be a very spectacular one, as each competitor goes to the same target to mark their flags. In relation to the task, the distance traveled by the competitor and the time required for it may be considered in the evaluation. HWZ, Hesitation Walls. This is an automatically scored task. Competitor's goal is to mark a flag at the targets designated by the judge. It is not mandatory to mark a flag for every target, but successfully doing so earns the pilot a flag point. There might be a score difference between the individual targets, meaning that some flags worth more flag points. In this task, all the flags are counted as the sum of the points earned by marking them. If the pilot marks a flag within the distance specified in the rules, for example 5-10 meters, then he or she has completed that target and receives the corresponding flag point. The task result is given by the total amount of flag points gathered during the task. There are usually more targets that can be successfully reached in the time available. Pilots should carefully plan their strategy considering the difficulties of the terrain. In relation to the task, the route taken by the competitor is logged, and this can be a factor in the evaluation. RTS, Race to the Starting Flag. This is an automatically scored task. This is typically a task for the competitors on the first day of the competition, similar to HWZ. The race director designates several targets in the vicinity of the base, considering the approach routes of the competitors, and defines the latest time to arrive at the base of the competition. The pilots who arrive to the event compete already when they start their trip to the event. They signal their start electronically with the start button. The more targets they mark during their trip to the event, the more flag points they get. This task already makes the journey a spectacle that anyone can follow online at Rover-tracking.com. It can be broadcast with a projector at the venue of the competition. In relation to the task, the distance traveled by the competitor and the time required for it may be considered in the evaluation. AUG, an unattainable goal. This is an automatically scored task. Similar to the JDG, Judge Declared Goal task, a target is designated within an MMA marker measuring area. In this case, the target is outside the MMA. It can be an actually inaccessible place in the middle of a lake, in a swamp, or even at a virtual point above the ground. Or it can be fenced with a designated virtual protective distance, PZ, prohibited zone. The border of the MMA can be a real physical border, for example, a lake, the bank of a river marsh, a clearing in the middle of a forest, etc., or a virtual one. The goal of the competitors is to mark their flags inside the MMA as close to the target as possible. Here, the pilot should also consider which point of the MMA is closest to the target, as well as how and how fast they can approach that point, taking into account the location of the previous and next targets as well. Scoring. We measure the distance between each competitor's flag and the target. This is the result, and we put them in ascending order, closest is best. In relation to the task, the distance traveled by the competitor and the time required for it may be considered in the evaluation. FXH, Fox Hunt. This is an automatically scored task. In this task, the competitor's goal is to find a hiding fox within a designated area. On the screen, the target area is known by the fox's hiding place is hidden. When the driver approaches the area and the fox is within 500 meters, a window will appear on the application screen showing the distance of the fox from the driver. However, the direction and exact location is still unknown. When moving around the area, the competitors must pay attention to whether they are moving away from or approaching the fox's hiding place based on the display distance. RWT, Run with Time. This is an automatically scored task. The task is similar to the PDG, Pilot Declared Goal, but the validity of the goal is affected by the time of declaration. The pilot must watch the clock. He can only declare a valid target in the direction of his own position, which falls in the direction of the minute hand of the clock. The event rules also record the deviation from this direction, for example, plus minus 3-4 degrees, and the minimum distance. This task offers an excellent solution if the event director wants to disperse the competitors on the field after the start. This way, competitors starting one after the other start in different directions on the field. No convoy of competing cars gets formed. TWT, competitive task without timing. This is a measured and scored task. This task is typically an untimed skill course, where the less errors or mistakes worth more points. Even though we do not rank the competitors in this task by their time taken, a time limit can be associated with the task, for example, only 15 minutes. If a priority part of the task named on a TDS, task datasheet, is not met, the competitor gets no result. MDDF, minimum distance double flag. This is an automatically scored task. Competitor's goal is to make 2 flag marks in 2 different measuring areas. The task is only valid if both flags are inside the different measurement areas. A smaller distance between the flags earns more points. The measurement areas are usually designated in such a way that approach from one area to another is difficult. For example, separated by forest, river, marsh, or PZ, prohibited zone. Upon reaching the other measuring area belonging to this task, the driver marks the pair of his/her first flag. If she forgets it, or does not reach the second measurement area during the race, the first flag is lost and no points are scored for this task. Rover-tracking is a complex event management system. Look for video manuals presenting the Rover-tracking application on YouTube, on the website of www.rover-tracking.com and in the settings menu of the application. Enjoy the services of the Rover-tracking application. Thank you for your attention. Welcome to the world of Rover-tracking.